Hey guys, Billy Davidson here with Davidson Pressure Washing and Painting, Hammond, Louisiana. Today we are doing some parking lot striping. Going to show you a good bit of that and talk to you a few things about this particular situation. We're working on this Dollar General, as you see here behind me. We're going to talk about how we landed this job. Also, if you have some Dollar Generals in your area that are not being maintained as far as pressure washing or for the parking lot striping, it might be a good thing to start trying to look into how to get in touch with these people. Also, if you're interested in the all-pro parking lot striping course or some parking lot striping equipment, please check out the links in the description. Bring you to a resource page where you can check those items out, and you can use the exact same equipment we use on our parking lot striping jobs to get them completed successfully every time. Make tons of money doing it. So yeah, anyway, this is a Dollar General here. We're going to talk about the temperature. The temperature has dropped like a rock today, so we had to change our paint. So we had planned initially on using a latex paint on this job. We had scheduled this job out a couple weeks ago. So generally we stayed booked out about 3 to 6 weeks on our parking lot striping jobs. A lot of times it is weather related, obviously. Sometimes it's temperature related. And then also we stay so incredibly busy with all the other jobs lined up. You know, they just have to wait or then call someone else. Generally, they don't mind waiting. You know, it's one of those type of things. So, kind of show you what we up to here. Right now, we're doing the yellow lines out here. We're going to also tell you how I upsold this customer. And this may be something you can add to some of your parking lot striping jobs as well. So these lines aren't actually too bad. So what we did, we started up here at the top of the parking lot, and they had a lot of trash out there, and still is a lot of trash, but we just basically worried about the lines themselves. So we don't need any debris on the lines, trash, cigarette butts, gum, all that stuff, spillage of where there's anything wet, we got to get it dried up. So we just kind of basically blew everything off. We will also be including this curb painting right here, this riser and this step. That pays a significant amount of money to add that to each job right there. And if they don't have it, you can upsell this, because this is a requirement. It's not required by any type of law, but it is required with this store's insurance. There are two insurance this store is going to carry as general liability. That's if someone slips and falls, a customer. This could be a slip and fall or a trip hazard, potential trip hazard. The other type of insurance these stores carry is something called workers' comp. You know, all are familiar with that. The workers' comp covers their employees from getting hurt. If their employee is out here doing something, getting buggies or something, they trip and fall on this if the curb is non-marked and they trip and fall, that's a workers' comp claim. So both of those insurance require these storefronts to be, the markings the curbs to be marked. So if it's not present, that's something you can bring to your customer and let them know that you can definitely take care of that and bring them into compliance with their insurance codes and regulations. And it's a major upsell. It's a couple $100. So, and it might take, I swear, like 10 minutes to do. These wheel stops, we're going to be painting them. That's going to go back a ADA color. So, you know, blues, ADA, that sort of thing. So we're going to paint that blue. Again, we're going to fix up their little handicap symbol. It's not in the best shape in the world, so we'll be getting that back in shape right here and making it look really, really nice. That is actually out of code right there because it is faded and worn. ADA is super strict and super regulated. We also include some of those ADA regulation codes in our all-pro striping course. That way you can let your customer know, hey, this is out of code already. So these things have to have no visible signs of wear or no visible signs of fading. And this one's very faded, and they couldn't find anyone around to do it. He actually called me 2 or 3 times, and I really wasn't interested in it because it's such a small job, you know, small for us. But this job right here can actually be done without a machine if it needed to be. Again, we teach that in the all-pro striping course too, how you can come out here and stripe these smaller jobs. So I just put a big ticket on it. I upsold them on double coating the lines. That sort of thing, and he went well for it. So he had too many other options, I would imagine. But and that's the case in most cities and most towns across the United States. Parking lot striping hadn't been saturated like pressure washing. You know, for whatever reason, people don't know about it. or they think it's, you know, something that can't be done, or they don't know how well it pays, something like that. So the market is not saturated. And so like I said, he's called 2 or 3 times. He caught me when I was in a good mood, and I answered his phone call, and I told him, he was very persistent, so that mattered too. So I went ahead, come over here and gave him a price, scheduled him out. And like I said, I kind of went heavy on the price because we worked all day today, and now we out here striping this. So when you pull a double shift like this, the guys make extra money. Obviously, you know, you got to pay them time and a half and all that sort of thing. And also my personal time too. So I put a price on it like I almost didn't want it. And of course, he went ahead and went with it. So upselling on the lines, I'll show you this a little bit right here. When you upsell about a double coat, basically what you want to let the customer know that your first coat is your standard coat. If you're going to put stripe this line and put a coat of paint on it, that's standard practice, that's industry standards. That is going to give you somewhere around 5 to 7 millage, one coat. So what I upsell my customer on is we let this tack off or dry, and then we apply a second coat. We do that while we're here because it doesn't take long for the paint to dry. So that second coat upsell is 1.5 times the price of the original coat. What it does for them, it allows them to have a peace of mind that they're getting a really good job out of it, but also it gives you a little bit of more profit margin in there because you're already here. You know, it doesn't take long to re-hit these lines once you've done them already. So we're going to break away here for a second, and we're going to follow them around and watch them do a little bit of striping, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. So as you see here, the lights have just recently went out in the parking lot. We kind of might thought that was going to happen, so we got some handheld. That what you see in the camera is just little bitty tiny dust particles that the spray is actually picking up from the surface as Chris stripes it out. So what we're going to do, we're going to finish striping these lines. We're going to hit them with a second coat on them just to get that little bit of extra millage on them as well. And after that, these lines should be good for at least a year, even at a dollar store. So so the temperature dropped on us. Like I said, it was warm today. Now it's cold, so we had to switch paints. Like I said, we were going to use a latex. Then we went back to a set fast paint, which is a solvent-based paint. So now, no matter how far the temperature drops, I mean, within reason, you know, it can get down to 28 to 30 degrees, and the paint's still gonna sublimate off and dry off. So that's not gonna be an issue. If we were using latex, we would be limited on the temperature range that we'll be working in. And latex has its good points, but that is one of the restrictions that you'll have with latex is your temperature range. But they make all kind of paints for all types of temperatures. You just gotta know which one to get, because using the wrong paint out here, the paint would never dry. 2 days from now, it would still be wet, and you can imagine that would be a disaster because they're going to be open up early in the morning. So always choose the right paint for the application. Again, if this was asphalt or blacktop, that would be a different paint than what we're using here. So there's a lot that goes in it. There's a bunch of different parking lot paints out there. There's solvent based, there's ammonia based, there's MEK based paints, latex, you know, it just goes on and on. So each one has its particular use and particular application. And also you got to make sure your machine is compatible with that. So that's why we really enjoy using the Titan machines, because it's very wide range of paints that we can use. Well guys, I'm gonna break off of here, and again, if y'all want to check out those links in the description, if you want to check out the equipment, if you want to check out the All Pro Striping course, we would greatly appreciate it if you got your training from us. And again, if you do, we're always here to help. It's not just a one and done deal. We get your number, program it VIP, and you come across something in the future, I promise you I'll be there to help as much as I can. Guys, anyway, this is Billy Davidson here with Davidson Pressure Washing Painting at this Dollar General with the lights off. But it's a gorgeous night, guys. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you in the next video.